Well, hello, everybody, CNC brothers and sisters. How's it going tonight?
I
It is a Wednesday night, June. What's today?
think today the
June
14th.
14th. Dang,
Halfway through June.
this month has been going
Jeez.
by fast.
Yes,
So,
agreed.
hello, CNC brothers and sisters. I'm Garrett with IDC Woodcraft, and the better looking person here is Kate
Oh,
Tucker
hush.
of Riseandshinediywoodsigns and Women Who CNC, and we are here for a
Yeah.
regular Wednesday to answer CNC questions as much as we can and give you guys opportunity to chat back and forth, which is what you seem to do, which is awesome. We like to see
Yes.
that. That lets us know we've got a community going on. And one of the things I am just starting to work on, I've been wanting to do this for like a year now, is build a live community where we can all plug in live, like on Zoom.
Yeah.
But
That would
we
be
are
so
here to
cool.
answer CNC. Yeah, so we're here to answer CNC questions to the best of our ability and chew the fat if we have no questions and tell how our day's going, how our week's going, what's kicking our
Yeah.
ass and what's not.
Oof.
Kate,
Yeah.
Kate, being a mom, has been pulling her hair out lately, haven't you,
Yes.
Kate?
I have. I've been going 100 miles an hour, you guys. It's been absolutely insane. My daughter's in 3 sports this summer, and I'm ready to pull my hair out between all of it's like high school age. So, it's not like they have one practice a week and it's for a couple of hours. It's like multiple times a day, like 9 to 11, 1, and then like 4 to 6. So I literally have like no time to even like do anything productive.
Yeah, and you got you
So,
you actually live by a calendar, don't you, with your
yes.
kids?
Yes, I do. So
Yeah.
I was actually working on my one-on-one schedule, and I was like, okay, hold on, let me like align the stars here because I have like Luke's schedule, Kendra's schedule, my schedule, the calendar schedule. I'm just like,
Yep.
I don't have a life. I'm
Yep.
just gonna like live and breathe by whatever this says to do
Uh,
every day.
yeah. Wait till you get to my level. That's when
Ugh,
you have to hire people.
yeah, I feel
Let's
like,
say hello to some of our brothers and sisters. Go ahead, Kate. Run through them. Say hi to.
all
Say
right,
hi to.
let's see who we got. Oh, I see Jack in the shop. Only 110 minutes to go. You are hilarious. He was on early. Oh my gosh. Tim's back. Yay. He made it in from a trip. Oh, let's see. This is Anyabin. He's here again tonight. We've got Gary from Marysville,
Hey,
Washington.
what's up, Gary? Washington. That's one of my favorite states. That and Utah.
Yeah.
Of
Oh,
course,
very nice.
Arizona holds a special place in my heart.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'll have to tell you about the story of the chasing the cactus sometime.
Oh, all right. I've always been afraid to
Maybe
go to
I'll share. I'll
Arizona.
share it tonight. I'll share it tonight because it's
Okay.
one of those stories that if your heart's open and
Hmm.
receptive, God, the universe will send a message to you, and that's what that was all about. It was a journey
Oh,
to learn a lesson uh,
okay.
that has led to IDC Woodcraft and what it's done so far. Well, I keep saying hi, and
Very
we'll get to
nice.
that.
I was thinking you were going to tell me it was some kind of cactus story. Like, have you seen like Fools Rush In with Matthew Perry and gosh, I can't think of her name. It was the movie Fools Rush In, and he goes out to the desert with his wife's brothers, and they're like this huge um, family. And anyway, he winds up getting like really, really drunk and falls into a cactus.
Oh, okay. No, this one's
Oh,
even better.
that
This
one's a
one's
better
even
story.
better.
Okay,
Yeah,
that's good.
yeah.
Okay, so we've got Chris. He's back from
Hey, Chris.
Australia. I see Wayne. He's here. Says hi, Garrett and Kate.
Hi,
Madra's
Wayne.
back. Hey, lady. Brooks Martin from Virginia. Very nice. Oh, we've got Spencer Biggs. He's checking in from Washington from Big E Woodworks. Welcome.
Okay.
We've got Rick. Welcome back. Doug, Mark Myers. I was just chatting with Mark via email. Hey, how are you doing?
Hey, Mark.
We've got
Oh,
Nick.
Mark's connecting with the big dogs now, isn't he?
he's hitting he's hitting big time. He's going moving forward. Let's see. Nicasio. I hope I pronounced that right. We've got Mark, Dion. Hey, brother. Keith, Roger Brown. Well, we've got a good group going on here tonight. Welcome,
Yeah.
welcome. Thank you for joining us.
And Richard said he promises he'll send you that file.
Oh, okay. Very good. Well, thank you,
All
Richard.
right.
I chatted with him earlier this week. He was so fun to work with.
Cool, cool. Is he the one
so-
that came to learn from you?
No, actually, different Richard.
Okay.
So we're working on, he's got a really great, for a new beginner, he's kind of like me. He just dove head in. He has like this really complicated logo with like 5,000 vectors and then like really tricky script, and just the design in general is just really complicated, but I'm really proud of him. I told him, you're going in the right direction. You just like dove right in. We're just going to figure it out and go from there. So
yeah. I liken that stuff to one of my favorite sayings is dive off the high dive as a statement when you don't see any water in the pool.
That's what he's doing. And I'm really impressed with him because he reached out and he did the one-on-one with me, and we worked through a lot of the issues that he was having. He said he spent like 2 or 3 days on it, trying to get a file right. And now he's off and running, but he's told me what he wants to do. He's already kind of got his niche. He's marketing to some different companies, making logos, making their carved logos and plaques. And he's got a good direction.
That's good. I had somebody call me today, and they're asking what's the best bit to use for carving in PVC, right? Which is an O-flute bit.
Yep.
This person brand new in CNC and has already got like 50 numbers that are 2 foot tall that he has to carve.
Wow. That's cool.
That's an easy. Yeah. So I just wanted to know what kind of bit to use on that.
Well, that's great, man. That's awesome. I've been trying to connect. So my mother and father-in-law live right next door to a party planner, and her husband is a carpenter, and actually was talking to him because she's got 3 little ones, so she's always running around tangling with them and or keeping up with them. And I'm like, hey, if you ever need anything done with a CNC, like let me know. And he was like, okay, I might need that someday, because he's a carpenter. So I mean, he knows how to do everything. But I just thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, speaking of the desert, Mark just said he's there, or cactus, and Mark said he's in the desert right now trying to learn Carveco. I need to find somebody to start training Carveco.
Yeah.
That's one of the other software that people use.
Yeah, and he did say he had watched one of your inlaid videos, and I think inlays are, they're a little tricky. So if he can watch the inlay video with you and Vectric and then transfer that to Carveco, I mean, I think he's got a pretty good understanding. So I think he's going to do well.
Yeah, absolutely. So anyway, you know what I'm going to be carving, y'all? Have you all seen the in Facebook the carve of that alligator swimming through the water?
Yes, that is so cool.
I got that model, and so I got that big beam right there, and that's what I'm going to carve out of that.
Really?
So I got the big piece of maple here.
Oh my gosh.
I did live the other night. Did my final test with the Beast CNC router bit, right?
Yeah.
And this guy right here, that roughing bit. I'm going to share a video. This bit out, I could not break the bit. I could not kill the machine, and I could not get that piece of wood to move. Right. I was also testing out this mat that a company called All Star CNC sent to me. It was such perfect timing because when I was first messing with this beam, I was screwing it down to the spoil board, and this vacuum mat kicks ass. I could not budge that board with that vacuum mat on.
That's a big board.
Yeah, I could not budge it. I mean, I was like, but you got to see this beast. So speaking of the beast, the CNC router bit, this is going to be the next level kick-ass bit that you're willing to use if you're going to remove a bunch of material from your projects, like the alligator swimming through the water, or it's going to be cool, or a bowl or something like that. I'm going to show you the video of how fast that thing runs.
Yeah.
1,000 inches per minute, 1 inch depth of cut, 1 inch. 80% step over.
That's insane.
That thing, it was insane. I was somebody was watching it, said, what did they say? They said, well, if you want to get into the gerbil bedding business, you got it going on.
Yeah. Yeah, they do sell those wood chips. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh. That would be
let's,
insane. Good
yeah.
night.
Let's see if I can. Okay, I'm going to try to share. Well, I'll share that, and I'm going to. So there's the alligator, and that's going to be done on a 44 44-inch piece of maple.
Wow.
So I'm excited to carve that out.
Yeah.
And I'm going to pull up this video. Can you see the video right now?
I don't see a video.
What are you looking at?
The alligator in Vectric.
Okay.
I think you're going to have to stop sharing. There you go.
Yeah. And then try this again. See if it picks up that. I got to maximize that video screen. And then we'll see if it picks it up. So what I want to show you is how fast this bit was ripping through. There it is. Okay. And can you see IDC Woodcraft?
I just see like your video. Looks like a video, like a screen of like a video player.
Okay. Can you see the IDC Woodcraft logo now?
No. I just see it's just me and you.
Oh, that sucks. Okay, well, maybe I can't show that then. That's not, oh, it's weird. It's not showing that I'm sharing it. Okay. Oh, well. Oh, well. Such is life.
Bummer. Bummer.
But for those who were there, they saw it. And
what you should do is put a link in the video for it tonight, like down in the description.
The one I sent to you?
Either that one or like the live where you did a live on your YouTube.
Yeah, okay.
That like copy that video. Weird.
When I went back to that, the audio was all messed up. So my microphone, I didn't realize that my microphone was canceling the sound out.
Oh, no.
Yeah, which is okay, but it was kind of weird to hear me too. I sounded like I was talking in a fishbowl, kind of like you were today when we were talking on the phone.
Oh, yes. The good old fishbowl.
Anyway, the beast is we are on target to release that June 30th. So those who are on the CNC Insiders list will be notified on that day or July 1st. So, but they'll get a couple heads up emails. So this is the way that's going to work. This router bit that I'm releasing is really, really aggressive. And so those who are on the CNC Insiders list will have first dibs at it. And I expect I have 1,000 in stock, and I expect that whole 1,000 to go before I can even make it public. Oh. So if you're not on CNC Insiders list, there's a link right in the description here.
Run.
Go sign up. Facebook, it's up above. There's a description. Click the more. You'll see links to get on CNC Insiders, and YouTube is down below in the description. Also, Vectric, right? If you want to learn Vectric and you are struggling, contact Kate. In the description is a link to schedule an hour with her. You will not regret it. You will not regret it. One-on-ones take you miles. Okay. We got a comment from Tim, right? Hi, Tim. Garrett, my wife said my 3/16 compression bit showed up today. Can't wait to get home to play with it. Excellent. You missed the first offering, but you get the second one. Yeah, the 3/16 compression bit. That is now available to the public, right? Well, actually, I think, yesterday was the last day CNC Insiders could take advantage of the 15% discount. Yep. And now it's available to the public. But because I got sold out in 4 hours when I released it to the CNC Insiders. I couldn't even release it to the public because they wiped me out. So the second round, I had to go to that.
Be on the inside.
Yeah, get on the inside. So there's a link in the description. If you can't find it there, then do just search on Google for CNC Insiders. You'll see it. Sign up. All right, let's see if there's some questions out there.
All right. I saw a couple up here. I gotta go back just a
Mark
minute.
Mark says he wants this machine now.
I know, right? Yeah.
Yeah,
I've been looking at
that's
the
it.
Onefinity with the new Masso motors and like being able to change like how fast it runs, like changing the IPM, and I was like, do you know like how nice that would be? Not have to like yank out your
Changing
USB,
it
go
on the
back to your
fly.
thing. Yeah, and just be able to like boop boop and go. Like done.
Yep. Yep.
I'm sure that's just how it goes. Boop boop boop. All right, back at 8:02, Steve, he says, evening
Oh, way
all.
back. That's good.
Yep,
All
just a
right.
hot minute. I saw him pop on. I wanted to make sure we caught him right up front.
At 8:02.
Yep.
Oh, there he is. This long one.
Yeah. Evening
Good
all, got a
question.
question. Just downloaded the latest version of Aspire. Now I can't drag my workspace around with my mouse. Am I the only one having this issue?
All right. So that sounds like a technical issue that you need to contact Vectric over.
Yep. Or maybe someone here in the comments, if they're using Aspire, maybe you can help out Mr. Steve.
Yep.
I know we're really good at helping one another out. So if you guys are having this issue, hook him
Yeah.
up. He's up here in the very top in the comments if you need to find him.
Yep. Yeah. But Steve, don't hesitate to reach out to Vectric because that's on them.
Yeah, they'll
Right?
help
If it's
you
not
out.
a quick and easy fix.
So I see Paul Wheeler, first timer from Michigan. Welcome.
Hey, Paul, welcome, brother.
Yeah,
Michigan.
welcome.
Man, a few years ago, he had if he lived up there, we had that solar flare, and they had northern lights come all the way down into Michigan.
Oh, that'd be cool. I would
Yeah.
love to see Northern Lights. I actually
I've seen them
graduated
once.
with a girl. She is a, like, I don't know what her technical terminology is, but she's some type of like bioscientist or something, and she lives in Alaska, and she's always posting on Instagram like the most gorgeous photos of the Northern Lights. I'm like, I just want to go see them.
They are worth it.
Bucket list.
Yeah.
All right.
I call it a life list.
A life list. Well, I guess that's
Yeah.
good. Better than a bucket list. I never really understood that statement, but
Right.
whatever.
Oh, it's just making a list and throwing them all in a bucket, and you start pulling things out. So, I guess I'll do that.
That's great. I like that. Life list. All right. Let's see who we've got. We've got Mark at 8:06. He said, who is the expert on photo VCarve? I know we have a user here in the group, and he is a huge, he's not on here tonight. Not Don, you got me saying Don. Dan is not on here tonight. He might pop on later. He, Dan Goodchild, I think he has a YouTube page, if nothing else than just like a user, but you could reach out to him. And he has been doing a ton on the photo VCarve. You could reach out to him. So I do have some experience with it. It's pretty cool. I'm not sure what exactly you're looking to do. So maybe we can help you out with that. Shoot me an email.
There's a video for you to make, Kate.
Yeah.
Intro to carving photos.
It's neat.
Yeah,
really
Kate's got a
like it.
YouTube channel, Riseandshinediywoodsigns. So make sure you jump over there. And if you are female doing your CNC stuff, make sure you sign up to her Facebook group, Women Who CNC.
Yep.
Here's a business thing. So Kate talked about it a little bit last time, right? And she's still kind of challenged with it, right? With coming up with your logo.
Yeah.
Right? Logos are they're kind of important, right? They either are an icon that you build up over time, like Apple or Twitter or something like that. But for any of us CNC creators that are starting a business, you want your logo to ideally to represent your niche. So if you are carving flags, American flags, you want to have some kind of patriot feel in your logo.
Yes.
And your name should also suggest to some degree. It all needs to paint a picture in the head. And the thing about a logo, it's an identifier. It's like your last name.
Yeah.
It's a brand. And so you want to establish that kind of idea through your logo, because that's going to give the first impression.
Yeah,
right? I want
that's
someone.
where
I
I'm
want their
really. We've been struggling a little bit with it. My designer almost quit on me today. He wasn't sure he could give me the result that I was wanting, and it wasn't that I was being super picky. It's that I'm taking what he's giving me and we're kind of running with it, and then I've been putting it into my group for some feedback because it represents women who CNC as a whole. So I want it to be very collective, collaborative, and also very inclusive for all women of any race. And so it's just, you want to make sure that you have all the right elements and all the right implements into it. But when you're working and you're kind of speaking for a group of women, you want it to be very on point, if you will.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easy to give criticism and feedback, but it's also very hard on this end because you're like, okay, really start churning the wheels for the business mind. I remember you telling me, like, you said you went through what, like 10 different models or 10
I
different
had
designs?
so many renditions of the IDC Woodcraft logo. I knew what I wanted it to feel like, right? And I wanted it to have a good, solid, rugged, robust Mack truck kind of feel to it,
Mm-hmm.
right? And I put it to my entrepreneurs group, right? And they kept toning it down. It was simple. And I also put it out as a poll to the CNC Entrepreneurs Facebook group. If you haven't joined the CNC Entrepreneurs Facebook group, that's the Facebook group that I have. And I put a poll out, and they voted on it. And so this concept is what won out. It doesn't matter what I like. It matters what the market likes. So for you as a creator, anybody here in business, we often want to create something that we like, and we need to think about our niche and what resonates with our niche, right? At the end of the day, our customers don't give a shit about us, right? They care about what they want. And so our job as business owners is to represent in always what they want, as to have a successful business. And of course, you got to stand behind that, your quality service, quality products, whatever, good customer service.
All
right. And
go ahead.
no, I was going to go on to comments, but what were you going to say?
No, let's go ahead with comments. I'm good.
Okay. Spencer said he just got his package. M&Ms were awesome. And
and the 316.
Just and the hog. You got the hog too.
Oh,
yeah. Whenever you order M&Ms from IDC Woodcraft, you always get a bit.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh gosh, I know. I think it was Ellen's post in my group. I think she got some bits today. And I was like, yay! She got. I think she got a lot of bits. I think it was.
Yeah, quite a few. She got the IDC Woodcraft coffee mug and.
Oh yeah. Ellen, was that you? I see. Okay, I see at 8:09. She said, "I received my package today. Also, I cried when I opened it." Aww.
Oh, no, you break my heart.
That's so sweet. I know. I love it too. I always, when I first started and I would get your bits, I was just like, I would open them and I would look at them, and my husband's like, "It's a router bit. Like, what is so fascinating?" I'm like, "You just don't understand, okay? You just don't understand." I was being, might have been just a shade dramatic, but that's okay.
Right.
Oh gosh. Okay. Let's see. One of our Facebook users said, "I just got your O flute bits for PVC and acrylic."
Okay.
Oh, hang on one second. I'm going to mute myself for a second because my cough is coming on really bad. I can feel it.
Okay. All right. Kate, go ahead and mute yourself. Yeah, Kate had COVID a couple weeks ago, so she's got the lingering stuff with it. So every once in a while it kicks in. And So I'm just going to pull
So
one
sorry
in
about that.
here. Yep, I thought the sound was okay considering the noise of the work happening. He was talking about the live video. Chris was talking about the live video.
Mm.
Yeah, when you have a spindle and a vacuum system, well, I didn't have the vacuum system running. I can't. Sometimes people comment about the videos. They say no dust boot. Well, I'm shooting a video. I can't have a dust boot on there. You got to see what's happening.
I know that is so hard. I was doing something with the surfacing bit the other day, and I always, anytime I shoot a video with epoxy and surfacing, because that's like 9 times out of 10 when I'm surfacing, I will always get somebody that will send me a message, hey, that's really unsafe. And I'm like, look, just because you like see the camera doesn't mean I'm not sitting behind like my camera with all the PPE on looking like a crazy person. That's why you're seeing the bit and not me, because you don't want to see me. I look like a crazy person.
Right. All right.
But yeah, you're just cutting wood, so you're usually you're gonna be fine.
Oh, Wilbur. I think I talked to Wilbur on the phone. No, he came here. Wilbur came here. Visited a couple days ago. I think this is the same. Yeah, it is the same Wilbur. He actually went camping at the local campground here, so he came down and I showed him around. Talked for a little
while. Oh, I was going to say at Facebook user at 811, he says, I like the dog with a duck in its mouth. Yes, I saw that. I don't know if it was in the CNC entrepreneurs group or if it was in the Onefinity group, but it literally was like the exact same thing that you're making with the alligator. But it was a Labrador retriever, which, you know, labs are like my loves because I have a lab. And then it had a duck in its mouth, and it was like swimming in the water. And I was like, oh my gosh, somebody has found a gold mine.
Huh.
Goodness gracious.
There's some seriously good ones out there. Good,
yeah.
3D models out there.
Yeah.
There were 2 alligator ones, and this one was the better one. Yeah. And it was less expensive. I think this guy was $10. The other one was like 15, 16. Not that that makes a difference to me, but yeah, I'll buy whatever looks cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like anything.
Yeah, lasers 314. Use your 3/16 down cut to make new clamps. The silver bullet. Yep, Kate uses that all the time.
I do. I like
nice. It. Future request for the app. Okay, the ability to manually sort the bit list. Interesting.
You may have to send Garrett an email and kind of.
Well, so in the app, okay, if anybody does not have the IDC Woodcraft app, you're missing out on a really convenient resource. Okay, it's got all the bits, it's got all the feeds and speeds and settings there. Even I refer to it a lot. I'm on the phone, someone's asking me about something, I'm going, I can't keep all the data in my head, so I open up the app and it's a free app for your phone, and you can access all the router bit data, the feeds and speeds. They're conservative, right? But you should always start off conservative, and then also the specs on the bits. And then if you need to buy a bit, you can go into the app and buy the bit directly from the app.
Yeah, you're gonna have to get the beast. You're gonna have to get the beast in there.
Well, we're working on it, but what I want to say on that is, in the app, there's right on the homepage of the app, there's a button that says "Leave feedback." That's where we're taking our that's where we're taking our requests for things.
Very good.
On there. So here, I'm not going to keep it in my head. So that's why we do it that way. And my tech guy, he's got he reviews that.
Good.
Okay. A lot of people talking about the 3/16 compression bit. Well, of course, I just sent out a whole buttload of them. I mean, I had 300 orders on Monday I had to send out.
That's a lot of orders.
Yeah.
That's a lot of orders.
Okay.
Let's see.
Okay, there's one.
Dion, I'm looking for a CNC laser ideas for making charity gifts for the local children's hospital. Thinking about making thumb book holders, simple wooden animals, and laser markers.
Throw out a couple ideas there, Kate, and other people. You can at Dion and give him some ideas. I'm going
Yeah.
to get something from the other room. I'll be right back.
No, you're fine.
I'll throw out a couple ideas
Making
for him.
making gifts. All right, let's see. I love the bookmarks. I think those are fantastic. Wooden puzzles. I know if you're using your laser, you could make some of those little puzzles that just kind of connect together with animals. I know those are really fun. You could even, oh my gosh, how fun would this be for them? Because they're sitting in their rooms a lot. If you could get, I know I bought little like paint. They're like little empty paint. There's like 6 or 7 of them, and you could just put like acrylic paints in there and then fill them up, and then you could let them paint their own animals. If you wanted to do something like that, if you're doing laser work, that'd be a great idea. Kids like things they can play with, they can move. And actually, since you're in the other room, I want to show you something really fun. Hang on one second. I'm going to grab something.
Okay.
I made, let's see.
I can hear you.
All right, you're going to laugh at me when you guys see these.
The things keep kids occupied.
Yes. So I have an entire box of these little things. I got them off of, gosh, she's a Onefinity user. I'll have to give you guys a link below. But they're little stacking men like this. Like, see, I haven't even sanded them yet. They're like still pretty rough. But like kids love things like this. Like, how cute is this? Like, they're just like little stacking people, they can like, put them on their arms or put them on their heads or their legs or whatever. But, just creative, cute little things, they can bend them and do all kinds of fun little things. But kids love stuff like that. So the only thing I did not like about those is the sanding. There's a lot of sanding.
Is the what?
Sanding.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
That's what compression bits are good for.
See?
They probably didn't use a compression bit.
No, I did not use a compression bit because I made these way before I even knew about a compression bit. Okay. Oh yeah. Yeah, I made them. Cool. I literally have a whole box of them. They're like this big. Okay. Like I probably have like 200 of them.
All right. For those of you who aren't sure what a compression bit is, it's a combination of a down spiral bit and an up spiral bit. And without going into a deep discussion, what a compression bit does, it eliminates tear out. What Kate just showed you, you couldn't see it really clearly, but what she has is something called tear out. And that's the result of, you can see a little, you can see it on that one arm and on the legs. Yep, there it is, especially on the right side there.
Yeah.
Yep, and that's from the upward spiral of the bit pulling up, and at the edge of the wood at the corner, it's tearing some of those fibers up. Yep, that's called tear out. So you want to use a down cutting bit for the top side of it, and that actually spirals down, and so it eliminates the pull up on the top. Compression bit has the up spiral just at the bottom, and that pulls it up from the bottom. So when you have a cutout, you have a beautifully clean cutout.
That would have made my life so much easier had I known that.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, things like that, little puzzles, like I mentioned, the paints. If I think about it, I'll probably come up with 100 ideas. Right. But those little people, I remember who it was now. It's Hamilton Dilbeck, or Dilbeck. It's Dilbeck. He has a YouTube channel. He's really popular. He has a Onefinity. But it was his file on the Etsy store. But if you go find him on YouTube, he's great. He's fun to watch too. He's kind of a character. So
cool. There's a couple comments about the Adirondack chair video. So I believe I'm going to dive into that next week. I did a lot of work on the file so that, to make sure things fit properly on the chair, doing screw holes and what have you. So I did a lot of work on that. So that's done. Proving out the file and all that stuff.
Sorry, I'm laughing at a comment. Jack in the shop, he was making a comment about our bucket list. He says, I got a list of things I want to do again. It rhymes with bucket. It's like, oh my gosh. Oh,
Jack, you're a hoot. You're a hoot.
oh goodness gracious.
Yeah, Jack, I will call you tomorrow. By the way.
All right, let's see.
So Kate's looking for some comments. In the meantime, while she's scouring, I just want to show for those who are going to order the beast what you are going to get. You know, I like to write notes on your cards, on your envelopes. All right, well, this is what your envelope is going to say.
Ooh,
Our
fancy.
beast, yeah, our beast has arrived.
I love
That's
it.
the logo. Beast, yeah.
That is so fun. I
It
love it.
is putting all that stuff together, and this is where the imagination just flows. Like it just comes to mind, right? It's when I'm talking
Yeah.
to you about your logo.
Mm-hmm.
Let it come to your mind, right?
Yeah.
And it'll come, and just run with it.
Yeah. Ellen just made a comment. She said, Kate, in the end, it's truly what you want. Pick the one that navigates to you. I had a really good comment in the group too. Stephanie, she's a sweetheart.
Talking about the logo, right?
Yeah, the logo. She said
Okay.
you need to remember what speaks to your what speaks to your avatar. And she said a wise woman once said, if you try to sell to everyone, you won't sell to anyone. And I was like,
Yes. Yep.
Lord Stephanie, I love you. I was like, thank you for that so gentle reminder. She was so sweet. But we've been getting
Yeah.
some really good feedback on it. I'm really happy with the feedback. I'm just glad that everyone is involved, and I am getting the feedback I'm getting because it does truly impact what I'm doing and what I'm seeing.
Yep.
All right, I see a question here at 8:24. It's Brian Neighbor. I'll let you find that. Oh my gosh, he has a lab. We're gonna be best friends already. All right, can you
Go ahead, Kate.
enlarge patterns you get off of Etsy? Absolutely, absolutely. Usually they come grouped when you download them out of your purchases off Etsy. A lot of them come zipped, so you have to unzip the file, and then you can download it and then transfer it into your Vectric. The main thing I recommend when you buy a file off of Etsy is, yes, to enlarge it, like just make sure it's all grouped, enlarge it, and then really zoom in on it and look at it kind of in detail all the way around the design, because sometimes you'll, like, whoever designed it'll have like loops, and it just kind of throws off and gives you issues, and you'll get that annoying little warning, the vector validator, saying that things are not as they should be. So
Yeah, sometimes people complain about the files that come off of Etsy. When if you're going to put a file on Etsy, you really have to spend time on it. You want people to have a good experience from you, right?
yeah.
And there's lots of little quirks. Now I do know that Vectric, when it imports files, a lot of people complain because there's so many nodes in there. Sometimes Vectric will create the nodes.
Yeah. And that's what that curve fit feature is really great for, because you can
Yeah.
adjust that, and then it minimizes the nodes. And just so you know, as a little side note for your nodes, the more nodes you have, the longer your project is going to take to carve. So keep that in mind. So using that curve fit tool is really going to make a difference.
Yeah.
And if you're not sure
You
what that is,
why
we
don't you
can
show
get
them?
into that. Oh, do you
Yeah,
want me to
show them what
show
the
them?
curve is. Yeah.
Oh, I don't know if I have. I'll have to go find an image off Google or something really quick. I'll
think
tell you
it's
what, why
down
don't you
in.
do you want to take a
Go
few more
ahead.
questions, and I'll work on finding an image? I'll pull it in off Google.
Sure.
All right, I'll let you work on that for a moment.
A bit to us is like a 63 Mustang to a Rev head. Yes, it is.
All right,
Steve said he wouldn't know about the M&Ms. I'd check out my new bits. My wife scars some up. Oh, you'll have to give me a different address, man.
Oh my gosh. My kids always try to eat on mine. I'm like, back off the M&Ms.
Yeah. What's the hardest I've pushed the hog bit without breaking it? That question is, it depends on the wood, right? So when like oak is fairly hard, and I was able to go 80 inches per minute at 3/4 inch deep, all right, at 80% step over. But I've seen people work with other hardwoods too, and they broke on them, right? So
Oh wow.
what I find that people are comfortable with, so I will just suggest it, because I offer on that one, when you get the hog, those are the feeds and speeds that you should max out at. So start off with the feed rate, but start off at 1/4 inch depth of cut. Get a feel for it, and then move yourself down to 3/8, then down to 1/2 inch, and just listen to the bit. But basically, you have a dense wood, then the harder the wood, the less depth you want to go. But it's the aggression, the feed rate, that you still want to keep up there. Speaking of wood, Kate, you've got a piece of wood there. You weren't sure what the species was. You want to
Oh, sure. Yeah, I'm
throw it up in
not
front of the
sure.
camera?
I don't think it is. I do not think it is walnut, but it kind of looks cherry-ish. I was actually going to use this piece for my beast bit. I was going to run some paths in. Gosh, it's so pretty now that I'm looking at it in the camera. I'm like, I don't know if I want to use this piece or not.
Somebody put in the comment what that is. What's the other
Yeah.
one that you weren't sure of? I think that's cherry.
I think this is cherry. I think this is cherry. It's got a lot.
That would, if that is, that'd be cherry heartwood.
Yeah, it's got a lot of red in it, or it looks,
Okay.
kind of red. I'm trying to get some different colors in it, but yeah.
Dion says puzzles. I'm sorry.
No, you're fine. Go ahead.
Yeah, I don't want to interrupt. Dion said puzzles are a great idea. Somebody must have suggested puzzles.
I did. Yep, that was one thing I suggested with a laser, because we were talking about that, doing that. But I was going to show you. I've got that heart pulled into. I just pulled a heart into.
Okay.
Into Vectric.
So what? So explain what you're going to show, and then we'll show them in the Vectric software.
Okay, so what I did was I went ahead and pulled in a just a heart. It's just an image I pulled right straight off of Google. It was a line drawing. I don't know that it's going to have a ton of nodes, but we're going to see what we get. So I'm going to open up Vectric, and we'll go into that.
All right, let me bring you in. Okay, there you go.
All right,
I'm
awesome.
going to make you full screen as well on that.
Okay, so we've got Vectric popped up here, and this just looks like a standard PNG image, but what we're going to do is we're going to come over to the trace bitmap, and we're just going to trace this. I'm going to
bump do color or black and white?
I'm going to do black and white just to keep it simple. I'm going to get rid of some of the noise just a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I did pick color, didn't I? All right, so we'll go ahead and preview that, apply, and then we're going to close. Okay, so this is, let me see here. So this line doesn't really look too bad.
You turn off the bitmaps so we can see the lines.
Oh, yes, absolutely. So you can see we've got a little bit of a kind of a wonky line here, which will come out in your carve. So you would have to fix that. You would just kind of want to round it out, but that, excuse me, that curve fit will help as well. You can see we've got more of a flat bottom right here. I'm trying to go just a little bit slower because I know that StreamYard kind of has a little bit of a lag. So those are just things that you want to look for when you zoom in. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to select both of these. Well, maybe not because I'm zoomed in. Okay, we'll select both of those. If we come over under the Edit Objects panel,
Can we
can
look at the
select.
nodes first?
Yeah.
See how many nodes it created.
Yeah, so I just hit N on my keyboard
Oh,
if you're familiar how I did that. So look how
yeah,
many
the
there are
letter
here.
N. Yeah, that's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, if I were to try and go and carve this right now, I'd say this is probably going to give me at least 15 minutes, 15 or
Well, not
20
only
minutes.
that, she has a lot of black nodes where they shouldn't be. Right? Black nodes are corner nodes. And so everywhere there's a black node, if you're V carving that, that bit is going to pull out and you're going to have a bunch of jagged cuts along your carve.
Yep.
So she needs to smooth all this out. Go for it.
Yep. All right. So I'm going to bring that back center. So back again under Edit Objects, we're going to do a curve fit. So I have 3 different options under the fitting type. I can do a circular, a Bezier, or a straight line. So we could do a circular. Let's go ahead and preview that. I'll show you that what that looks like. I do have a tolerance on here and a max angle of 60 degrees. And I do want to replace the selected vectors because I don't want to have duplicates on top of duplicates. So if I replace it, it's going to get rid of the old one and keep the new one. So we'll go ahead and hit preview. Now you can, I'm just going to hit OK. We can see down here at the bottom, I thought this was a good example. It did round it out a little bit.
Yeah.
But let's go ahead and look at the nodes.
What the circular is what it did, it took all these lines and turned it into arcs. Everything is an arc now based on a circle.
Yeah.
So
let's go ahead and hit the nodes. We still got a lot of black nodes, but you notice that they're more they're more curvy. So if you try to move these, you're going to get that, like what Garrett was saying. It's everything is on an arc, which is really quite annoying. Because see, you're trying to move that. That's what the arc looks like. So it just gets to be really annoying when you're trying to work with that. I'm going to go ahead and undo that just so we can see what our actual design look like. Let me go back. Oops. Okay. Now I'm going to exit out of node mode by hitting escape. All right. And we'll go back into that curve fit module. I personally like the Bezier curves. I think they do a really great job. And you can see, so we did the preview, we're going to hit OK. So down here, look how much smoother that is right in here. All right, and we're going to go with nodes. See how I level those little blue nodes? Blue and green, we don't see any black. So this is going to come out so smooth. And then if you did want to edit down here, of course, you could easily edit that to make the two match if you wanted to be completely symmetrical about it. But again, this is just a line drawing that I pulled off of Google just to get a simple idea of what we're working with. So that's kind of how that works. We have no black nodes. It's not going to, the bit's not going to pull out. It's just going to be a really simple carve, and you're going to get a nice clean cut.
Yeah, that will be much smoother. So she pulled up the nodes by selecting the item and then hitting letter N. When you see a mess of nodes in such a simple shape like this, then you know you got some node work to do.
Yeah. And you've got some great videos on your YouTube channel about how to work with nodes. So
yeah, I've got a specific video that talks about nodes.
Yep, go find that. I think you will greatly benefit from doing that. Yeah. All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay, got a couple of questions that are aimed at me. So Chris, you used my numbers for inlays, so that's from the inlay video that I did. So if you want to do an inlay, then on YouTube, do a search how to make an inlay. It's literally step by step from the very beginning, all the way through the design, how to set up in your machine to the finish work, and what tools I use and everything. Long video, but you will learn a ton. So the question is, do I have a suggestion for doing deep inlays? So I have not done a cutting board, but I do have numbers for it. Got guy that I was working with, he actually sold cutting boards, made inlaid cutting boards. So I know that's been one of the videos that's been on my list for quite a long time. So I could send an email and ask, okay, at Garrett at idcwoodcraft.com. And I'll pass that over to him. The next one is from Spencer. So Spencer's been using the lightning bit, the 1/8 drill bit. It's make cribbage boards. He's been using rosewood. So rosewood is a beautiful wood. It's a hard wood, and it's snapped after 3 boards. So first of all, Spencer, send me an email, and I will replace that for you. Okay. So send an email, and just an email, say, Garrett, you said you'd replace this bit. Explain what you explained here. So when you're getting into really hard woods, you want to slow your feed rate down. What happened on that was likely because it's so dense that the bit wasn't able to eject the chips fast enough. And you may want to go into pecking. So with that, you turn your spindle speed down a little bit, and turn your feed rate down a little bit. And with such a hard wood, you probably want to peck, and I would peck to quarter inch peck depth. So it's kind of like metal, right? I mean, when you're getting a wood that hard, it's not wanting to move as easily.
I'm sure not. I do see some people have said the app is fantastic. They love it. It's like a mobile brain. They really like it. Your laser 314.
IDC Woodcraft app. Okay, Google or Android and Apple. It's available to you for free. Go get it.
Yes, it's fabulous.
While you're watching this, if you're not on your phone, or even if you're on your phone, go get the app now. Just download it. So can we. Go ahead.
It's worth it. Oh, so on a side note on that, I was going to tell you a really funny story. So the other day when I was talking to you about what the beast and, all the feeds and speeds and things like that, we were chatting about it. And I literally, like a ding dong, I wasn't even thinking, my phone was literally sitting right next to me. And I hauled my butt out all the way out to the shop. I grabbed the bit and I looked at it and I was like, oh my gosh, it says to scan the code. I was like, why did I just not use the app? Like, what am I thinking? It's sitting right there next to me. I felt like such an idiot.
Well, actually, I don't think that code works yet. We don't have the beast. No. The web, the store is, it's written up in the website, right? But it's set as draft right now. So most things are together. They're so close to releasing it. Yes, the beast is coming. The router bit that eats wood for breakfast, and you can't break that bit. I couldn't break it on this stuff. If you break the bit, I want to know about it. I want to know what you're doing.
Oh, okay. So let's see. It says Frank Martin at 8:33.
Hello, Frank.
Yes, he says, Garrett, I have a 36 by 24 pocket sign my customer wants, but it says 26 hours to carve.
Okay, take this one. She's the sign girl.
So a 36 by 24 pocket sign. I'm going to say it depends on the detail that you're working with. Because I have a lot of door hangers. That's a big sign. Okay, that's a big sign. 26 hours.
That's too much.
I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of high, but it really depends on how many Toolpaths you have. Because I have like some welcome signs that I make out of like 15-inch rounds, and they'll just say like welcome to our home, and it has like little like dots around it, whatnot else. And I think I run a 1/4-inch end mill and an 1/8-inch end mill, and it takes me about a couple of hours to get it all the way where I want it. So a 36 by 24, I think a lot of people forget that's a large area to cover for I mean, you're got to think it's a 1/4-inch wide, and you're running a bit back and forth, and it's doing all kinds of design work. Something I would consider is looking at whether you are doing a raster cut. And it's going back and forth instead of going, because a lot of bits, and it also depends on your programming, because sometimes the bit will like carve over here and then it'll pick up and it'll go to the far right corner and then it'll come down here to, and you're spending a lot of time with your bit in the air instead of it just going back and forth and cutting. So I would look into that.
Yeah,
Do
doing
you
a
have any other
raster cut.
suggestions for him?
Yeah, yeah. So one, the hog router bit or the beast router bit is good. I'm going to assume that there's something taking this long. He's doing a lot of pocketing on
Yeah,
this.
that's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's
Yeah.
clearing it out.
So the beast or the hog is going to help tremendously because you can run really fast and take really large step over cuts and much deeper cuts. I did a video on how to reduce your time on your CNC projects.
Yes.
One of the first things, I'll actually bring this up.
Yeah, that is a fantastic video. I would highly recommend it. I just had a session today with a girl and she was talking about how long it was taking to cut. And I said, let's look at your rapid rates. Let's look at scale factor. There's a lot of different things setting up that can affect that. I personally have a Onefinity Journeyman X50, and I think it's the rapid rate, I think is set at 500, and then my scale factor's at a 2. So those are definitely really helpful. If you can adjust those two things under the so like where you in Vectric, where you have your preview, like your toolpath, right next to that there's a clock. So it tells you your times. It'll tell you all your times, and then your rapid rate and your scale factor are right within that little section that you can actually make adjustments. But the video Garrett is looking for and going to pull up and show you is extremely helpful. I would highly recommend that you go and use it and follow the tips, because you're going to be blown away by the amount of time that you can save.
Yeah, I was actually bringing something up in Vectric.
Oh, okay.
But I'll still find that video.
Yeah, if you want me to, I can find it for you.
Yeah, why is this not showing my windows? Go ahead. Okay. I just want to open up a project. What's a good project to open up here that I know will have that? The welcome sign. Yeah, the welcome sign that comes with the starter set.
Yeah.
So let's see if I can find it there. Okay.
I think you actually use that in the video too.
And let's make sure this one's got toolpaths. It does. Okay, excellent. Excellent. It's a really good example. Okay.
Beautiful.
All right. So one of the things with the Vectric software, what Kate was just talking about. So we're looking at this welcome sign here, and you can see there's multiple tool paths. When you go to the clock right there,
that's
bottom
what I was talking about. Yep.
Yep. And it's going to give all your times. And so we're showing 2:29 on this clock. The first thing is this scale factor. Okay, it comes in default as a 2, and just change it to 1. Right.
Okay.
I'm not sure why they set it to 2. There is a reference to that, but that's basically a multiple. So if you set that to 1, you're going to get a more realistic time on that. That'll just literally cut it in half.
Okay, that's good to know, because I have mine set at 2.
Yeah. Compare it though. Compare your run times what the clock is saying, right?
I will, absolutely.
Yeah. Yep. And then the other thing is when you're doing, for example, on this welcome sign, I'm going to just have it run this out. And so this is done in an offset mode, obviously. So a raster is back and forth. Offset is doing all the swirly stuff. But if I run that, let's see, we'll run all toolpaths. Okay. So when you're doing like this big pocket here, I would do this pocket in 2 tool paths. I do the first one as a pocket with deep cuts, and I would up your feed rate on your bit as it's removing material, but you're not going to go to the full depth of the project. You're going to leave it maybe a 0.05 shallow. from full depth. And then you make another tool path. You duplicate that tool path, and then you go back into that and set that to the proper depth and have it come down all the way to that depth and come back in at your normal feed rates. Right. That the pocketing and the offset stuff, that's what takes a lot of the time. But what the other thing that Kate was talking about was the inefficiency that just seems to be built into the Vectric software. It'll come in and it'll as you're reducing the size of your bits, you'll come into this area right here. It'll do a little clean out here. It's so messed up. I mean, it's almost like it does it on purpose to make it
It's like it hops.
Well, it'll do here, and it'll come all the way to the other side over in the little E, clean out the inside of the E. Then it'll come all the way back to the other side and do the little corner of the W, come back all the way to the other side and do the other corner of the E.
Yeah.
And it just keeps going back and forth. It's such a tremendous waste of time in the Vectric, and there's not much we can do about it because it's the way the software is designed to work. And that is something that I just wish they would fix. It drives me nuts, and it drives everybody nuts.
It really does, because it's like, why is it like hopping back and forth everywhere, and you just kind of want to go, just work over here, please, just stay over here. And
work here, do there, go there, go there, go there, go there, go there.
Yeah, it's really irritating.
But those two things will save you a lot of time. Up your feed rates for all your clean out cuts.
Yeah, and then also like Garrett said, having a hog bit. I mean, you can use that hog bit and clear out so much of that material. And like he was saying earlier, I was so funny. This is the exact same like session I had earlier with my with one of my ladies. Is I was talking to her and I said, you know, you've got to clear out all this depth and then go in, start at your start depth, whatever you cleared out at, and then drop it down, and you'll be good to go. So.
Yeah, in the machining world, we have what we call roughing cuts and finishing cuts, and technically that's what we're doing. We're roughing out a bunch of material, up the feed rates, just up the feed rates for all that material removal. Right, just get that stuff out of there. You can do a nice cleanup pass on the final run.
Yeah. Hey, I did want to mention something really quick. So we were talking about, because I'm getting ready to do 3/4 inch and a 1 depth cut, and I'm going to go from 100 feed rate to 450. But we were talking about on the plunge, on the beast, to just keep the plunge at 80, right?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay, so we don't want to change the plunge. We leave that at 80. We're just going to change our feed and go from there.
Yeah. I mean, you can plunge all you want. You can go to 400 to plunge, but plunge is such a short distance, it doesn't really matter.
Okay. Yeah. I just wanted to make sure with that.
Yeah. Bill was asking, where's a curve to fit tool?
So it's under edit objects.
He might have missed it. Bring your thing back up. So.
Okay, let me do. Oh, my screen won't go
down. In the meantime, Chris is saying a problem. What's this little delay going? The problem with a lot of Etsy files is they don't say what they are designed for, CNC or laser. Yeah. That's why whenever you do an Etsy search, I always type in CNC router if I'm looking for a CNC router project. Yeah,
and the other thing you can look for too, it can simply just be an SVG. Or like if you're looking for the 3D model, obviously you want to search STL, but you can use just about any SVG that you want. It's just read the comments, make sure that it's a good SVG and you're not going to have problems with it.
Yeah. Read the reviews. So Jack was saying Steve Good with Scroll Saw Workshop has a lot of files for CNC and laser. And because you know exactly who they're coming from, you're not buying from a store, right? You know that he's a little bit more responsible for what he's doing.
Yeah, absolutely.
So Steve Good with Scroll Saw Workshop.
Very nice. I write that down. I did have. Okay. All right. Let me
go. While Kate's doing that, and if you're on Facebook, up above is a description. If you hit the more button, you'll see. First of all, if you're female, you can join Kate's Facebook group, Women Who CNC. It's women only. Join the CNC Entrepreneurs Facebook group if you're anybody else and a woman. It's the Facebook group I've started. And also when the beast comes out, right, CNC insiders get first grabs. I will not make it public. I will tell the CNC insiders, and they will have a short-term 3-day window to get it at a 15% discount. Right, and then that window stops.
You don't want to miss that.
And then it goes out to the public. Right, so CNC insiders, the link should be in the description. Facebook up above, YouTube down below in the description. And what else do we have there? Also, the hog is linked there as well in the descriptions.
Very good.
What else is going on? Yeah.
Are you ready? Yeah, I'm ready. Ready when you are.
Okay. Oh, there it is. I see it. And subscribe to Kate's YouTube channel, Riseandshinediywoodsigns. I think Bill said earlier he subscribed to your channel.
Oh, well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, all right. All right. So back here under Edit Objects on the third row down.
Right, left. Yeah.
Yep. And then it's so third row down, third icon over, and it looks like a sideways S. So
yeah, or for guys, it looks like a sine wave, part of a sine wave.
There you go. There you go. So
see, this is why there's Women Who CNC and things for everybody else, because women, it looks like a sideways S. They're gonna, oh, okay, I get it. They could just they talk in a different language.
We do, and that's okay. That's okay. Everybody learns different. This thing here, this distort object tool, it looks like a piece of a quilt. I know that sounds really funny, but all right. So little quick tidbit, if you're brand new, if you hover over your icons and you're not sure what they are, they actually tell you right underneath it. So like this one is extend vectors to a common point of intersection. So it's kind of nice sometimes, like their snipping tool, trim, this is your vector validator. This is going to be really helpful. So just a couple of things there. All right, I'm going to stop sharing.
Okay. Also, if you are struggling on your Vectric, Kate does one-on-ones, and it is linked in the description as well. So you can go there, and her calendar is linked there, and sign up. As a business person who's mentoring Kate, she's not allowed to do that for free, right? She has a skill, and she's worked a long time at it, so it's not a free service, right? But it will get you miles ahead of where you've been.
I personally did it with Garrett, and I paid for it, and I made the investment, and it was worth it. So I know what that's like.
I've stopped doing one-on-ones because I'm getting too busy, and so I'm working on rolling people in to IDC Woodcraft like Kate to do that. Take command, because they do that kind of stuff very well. Does anyone have any experience with Raptor composite nails for hold down? Oh, so yeah, those like they're made of like a Teflon or something, and you can hammer them in, and if you run your bit through it, it just chews the nail up. It doesn't hurt the bit at all. So I've seen that used quite a bit. I should look into that. People have used them. So
Raptor composite nails. I'm going to look into that.
Yep. And I've seen quite a few people. They've had good comments about them.
Okay. I'll have to look into that. All right. Frank says, also, what about bit carves, the smoothest pocket carve background upcut or downcut in mill? So I personally,
go ahead.
Yeah, when you're doing a pocket, okay, two things. If you're doing your roughing, obviously you're going to be using a roughing bit, or you're going to want to use an upcut bit, because that's going to want to eject chips up and away from your project that you're working with. Garrett has a really great video on this too. The difference between using upcut and downcut bits, you can actually see that there is a little bit of a difference. with the upcut bit and then a downcut bit. So you will have a little bit of kind of a discrepancy in your project, and that's
In
why
the
you'll
bottom.
need to, you'll need to use a finishing, a last finish pass, which is under like the edit passes button when you're doing these pocket or profiles. You can set that last pass, but I personally like the look of a downcut bit just because I feel like it's cleaner. But I know some people would probably disagree with me. So what do you think, Garrett?
So I'm just popping over to try to find the video. This video I have is called "The Science of Down Bits." All right, what
Yes,
Kate was
that's the
just
video I'm
talking
talking
about.
about.
Yep,
Yeah,
yep.
that's it.
And it talks about the mechanical forces that are working against the bit,
Yeah.
and it's going to leave different heights at the bottom of your project. So, what bit creates the smoothest pocket? All right, so the bit that's going to create the smoothest pocket actually is an upcut with a bottom cut on it. All right, but the problem with upcuts is they tear up the upper edge of the wood. Right, so bottom down cutters, they do just fine, right, as long as you're going along with the grain of the wood. You're doing it in raster
Yes.
mode, right? If you do it in offset mode, you're going to have all kinds of witness marks going across your grain, and then you got to sand those
Everywhere. Every time.
everywhere. Right.
Yeah.
So I would say down cut and mill will give you the satisfactory results.
Yeah. Yeah. It's kind of a catch-22, unfortunately. It really is. Yeah. Watch the video, The Science of the Downcut Bit, because honestly, you'll watch it and like you may have to watch it a couple times and then you'll go, "Oh, okay. Now I get it." I did. I personally did. You'll get it. Once you get there, you'll be like, "Oh, I get it now." Because the downforce of the down cutting bits is so insane versus an upcut bit. Like it's almost like what? Like I would say not even like an eighth. It might be like an eighth of an inch difference. And when you're doing that in a project, it's like, holy smokes, now this makes sense. Now I get it. There you go.
Yep.
Big light bulb moment.
Think of your bits. They're screws, right? And they're spinning really fast. So screw is trying to either go down or it's trying to go up, depending on the direction of the spiral.
Yep.
Physically, the forces are trying to make it move, and the resistance of the wood.
Yep.
Okay, here's a question for you, Kate.
How do you connect lines where there is a gap? Okay, so let me get back into Vectric and we will work on. Actually, I will pull, you know what? This is a great opportunity. I'm just going to share my screen here. I'm going to pull up that heart. Oh gosh, dang it. Where did it go? It's not pulling up. Yeesh. Oh, it's because I have to have it on my actual screen. It's all fussy. Okay.
Yeah, well, I was just doing that. Hit the like button. If you're in Facebook, hit the like button. If you're in YouTube, hit the like button.
All right, so here we go. We have our lovely little heart. We've got our nodes here. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to cut this vector for the sole purpose of this lesson. So we're going to move these nodes apart. Now, how do we connect them? So you'll notice I have a black node.
You know, there we go. Okay,
go
there
ahead.
was a delay.
What were you going to say?
No, it was a delay.
Oh, okay.
Your gap wasn't showing up. You got a gap.
Okay, so I've got my gap here. Okay, so there's a couple of things that you can do when you're working with nodes. I'm just going to pull this heart out a little bit so we can see. So what you could do, a couple different things. The easiest thing to do is to grab this node and just reconnect it. Okay. So, but connecting that, you notice that the node is still black. Am I good? Am I getting a lag?
You connected it and you have black node.
So I've connected it, but I've run it together. So what I want to do is I want to actually come down here to join, and I want to join the open vectors. Okay. Now it's telling me I have 0 open vectors. There was 1 closed, 1 open. So now we're good. Okay, that's the quickest, dirtiest, easiest way to do that. Now I'm going to go back into node mode, and I'm going to cut this vector again. We're going to move it across. Now let's say I wanted to add, you know, an arc or a curve or a line. So I've got my line here on the Z. My arc is your 3 points that we saw earlier when we were working with those arcs. You know, you can straighten them out or do what you want, or we can draw a curve. You know, I like the curve feature personally because it gives just a little bit more flexibility than just like a straight hard line, because this is not truly a straight line. It's actually, it does have a curve because it's the heart. So we start up here where we want it, and then we're just going to come it down here and you reconnect it. So I'll hit the space bar, and now you can see I have 2 separate pieces here. I'm going to hit escape to get out of that function, but I want to grab this line. I'm going to hit shift and grab this line, and I want to reconnect them. So I can come down here to join again. And of course, now we have 2 open vectors. And the reason we have 2 open vectors is because we have 1 on each end. So each end of the line would have a connection. So now we're going to hit join and then close, click back on the vector, and now you can see it is 1 piece again. So I hope that helps if that's what you were thinking. Like I said, just kind of work with the design that you have. If you are working with like a box or something and you need to chunk out something, here, I'm going to stop sharing this real quick so I can pull myself back up. But if you're working with like a box and you need to cut something out to draw lines in it, that's when you would want to use your line vectors. But if you have anything on a curve, use the curve because it's just a little bit softer. So there's some other functions that you can use in there, but I don't want to go too far off into the weeds on this one.
Right. Well, he's also had help in the comments. A lot of people were helping Bill along the way. There's a lot of comments telling him what to do.
Oh, good.
So you got it on both sides there, Bill. And
awesome.
As far as there's been a lot of comments about the composite nails too. And a lot of people are saying they love them. They work great. Right. Ron, it's a must. He uses it with his Phantom vacuum table, even with that, right?
Nice.
Even having a vacuum table, it has saved him many projects. So it's just it's another way to hold projects down, right? Is you can screw it down to the table. A lot of people do that. The nail gun, if you think that you are going to have any risk of hitting your hold down components, whether it be a screw or a metal clamp, then you want to think about you always have to take into account where your hold downs are going to be. You have to think about that and plan on that, or get the nail gun and just nail it to the table, right? With these, and then you don't have to worry about it. And they're disposable nails.
My biggest thing is, as many of you know, I do a lot of epoxy work, and I have like my round epoxy mold. It's an 18-inch mold. I pull it out. I have this like 2-inch thick piece of wood. It's already round. And I'm like, ooh, I've got to surface the whole thing of it. And as you know, if you've done any type of surfacing, you have to make the circle a little bit bigger than your actual project so it hits all the way around the edges. So the only logical thing to do is use CA glue. And it's so dang big and it's so heavy. I like go nuts with the CA glue because I do not want that big piece of wood with the epoxy that's got tons of money in the wood, tons of money in the epoxy coming loose and flying off. So I like have to shellac my table down. So a vacuum table or Lord, another option would be fantastic. But
right. They're asking about the price. So somebody said anywhere between $100 and $300. I'll look into that. There, somebody must look that up. $349 for the gun.
No. Okay.
I'll have to check it out. And Bill said thank you for showing him that.
Yeah.
Might be worth the investment on the nail gun. So a lot of talk about the nail gun. Looks like something to investigate and perhaps make a video on.
Yeah, very good. I see someone, Eddie's Custom Cabinets of Rochester. He said the welcome sign took him 10 hours of the welcome sign you made. That is
Yeah,
a lot of hours, my friend.
that is a
God
lot of
bless you.
hours. Well, you know what? The good thing that what I like about giving that project is it is a killer practice project. Right? It gives you so much practice and by working through that, you learn a ton of stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that project comes with the complete starter set from IDC Woodcraft, and I think I got it with the essential starter set too.
Mm-hmm.
So the essential starter set is 6 pieces, like the 5 router bits you got to have if you want to make a project.
Mm-hmm.
All right, you
Yeah.
have to have them. You can't do it without them. And then
Yeah.
there's the complete starter set.
Yeah. And save yourself the time and the money of looking and trying to hunt. Just do the good ones. CA and painter's tape, Kate. Yes, that's it. That's all I got. You see it? Well, it's back here. I got my painters. Everything is so weird in these videos, but it's my big bottle of CA glue and painter's tape. It's like I use the wide tape just as like a point of reference because I know a lot of people just use that like skinny tape and they get really frustrated. They do make the wide version. I think it's like 1.5 inches. So you just, maybe like 5 or 6 drones of that stuff and you're good to go. It's not bad, but
Right. The CA
good Lord.
glue method, in case that question is, what is it?
Ah.
Is so there's several ways to hold your projects down. Number one is clamps. Number 2 is using CA glue method. Number 3 is a
Yep.
vacuum table like I have on the Phantom. Number 4 is nailing or securing your projects with some kind of fastener.
Yep.
Okay, CA glue method is where you take painter's tape and you'll apply it to you'll apply it to the bottom side of your project and strips, and then you'll apply it to the spoil board of your table at the same time. And then what you do is you'll get this CA glue is super glue is all it is, right? I use Star Bond. Okay. And then you'll put a bead down on the painter's tape that's on your spoil board, and then on the what you usually do is you have the tape that's on the back of your project, you'll spray it with accelerator spray, which is what this is right here. You don't always have to use the accelerator spray when you're using the thin stuff. That's pretty quick when you mash them together.
Yeah. You just have to like hold it down for like 30 seconds if you're not using the accelerator.
But about 5 seconds if you do.
Yeah, like not even that. I just like hold down on it and I'm like, oh, and then I like try and yank on it and I'm like, oh, it's good.
Yeah.
So.
And so it's a nice, easy method to put your project down. You don't, I mean, every method's got its pros and cons, right?
Yeah.
Painter's tape takes a little bit of time. You got to put tape down. I always recommend that you make sure you use a scraper to press the tape down.
Yes.
On both sides.
Yes.
And make sure your spoil board is clean and make sure your project is clean and smooth. For the CA glue, I use the Star Bond, and in all my videos except for the lives, there's a link down in there with a coupon code that'll give you 10% off. So get painter's tape, get a scraper, get the accelerator spray, and get the thin CA glue, and do a search on YouTube for CA glue. I've got it. I watch the inlay video. I do it in the inlay video. Right, and you'll learn about how to do inlays, and you'll get a free inlay file.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I was looking through the comments.
Good question. Facebook user asked about. You can answer this, Kate.
Is the blue painter's tape strong enough to hold it for a roughing bit, like if the hog is running full depth of cut and inches per minute in a hardwood? Here's my sentiments. I do not recommend. I would not recommend that. Just because that is a lot of power moving a lot of wood. And the very last thing that you would want to do is ruin your project, especially if you're working with a hardwood. I personally just would not recommend that. I don't feel like that's a really safe option. I would feel really comfortable if you were going to do that. I would say you could do the CA glue and then add clamps with it. I've seen a lot of people do stuff like that, just to ensure that there's really no movement. If you're making a huge sign and you really don't want movement, you could add some CA glue around the edges and then, maybe a couple strips through the middle and then add clamps on the corners. I've seen a lot of people do that, especially if there's any type of like bow in the board. They'll use that CA glue to kind of help like push down, like, you'll see people like pushing down on the middle of their projects, and then they'll add clamps to it. So V carving, regular end mills, stuff like that, I think you're going to be fine. But a roughing bit, I can't say yes in good conscience.
Yeah.
I
Yep.
just don't
I've
think
had
that's a safe
projects
option.
when I've been removing a lot of material at hard rate. I've had projects pull up on me with CA glue.
Yeah.
So it's like she said, if you're doing a V carve, you're not doing a lot of heavy work to it, you'll be fine with the CA glue.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, there's oh, someone said for acrylic, Brooks, for acrylic, you reverse it, afraid the accelerator will affect the acrylic. I leave the plastic on the acrylic.
That's what I was thinking.
The protective plastic on the
Mhm.
bottom side until I'm done.
Yeah,
with
because
it.
that's a pretty hard pull to get that stuff off of there.
Mm-hmm.
So let's see. I was trying to kind of go through some of the upper comments. Oh goodness.
Yeah, I'm all the way down at the bottom.
Do not.
I've seen people use carpet tape too, double-sided carpet tape. I tried it.
I used that for a long time.
I don't like it. I've had it sometimes stick to the wood too much.
That's what I use, like right here. I don't know if you can even like see that, but there's like a little hint of like remnants of carpet tape. But I will tell you, I used a lot of carpet tape when I was first starting out. But the only brand that I found that actually stuck and worked was you could buy it at Menards, and it's like I think it's a duck brand, is what it is. And I really liked it. I mean, I had pretty good results with it. I went through a lot of carpet tape.
Mm-hmm.
And I'll be really honest, it was because I was new and I had a lot of expenses going out the door, and it was cheap. I think it's like $10 for like a big old roll of it. And I mean, I was just doing stuff like V carves and making signs. I wasn't really like, I don't know. You do crazy things when you first start. You don't know what you don't know.
Yep, that's right. Loves CA glue tape, but you can't have a Swiss cheese spoil board. So what he means is a spoil board is called a spoil board because over time you're going to cut into it, and over time it's going to have so many cuts in it that you've lost a lot of contact area for your tape.
Right? Now I'm gonna challenge this comment because you're just gonna take my word for it because I have a big project nailed down to mine right now. My spoil board is a hot disaster, and if you use enough CA tape or blue tape and CA glue, you'll be okay. Mine is literally like it has like slices all through it, deep carves. Y'all, I'm like ashamed to say it. I have needed to change my spoil board for months, and I have not done it. But when I surfaced that big piece that I showed the other day when I was using the surfacing bit, I surfaced that on there. But like I said, go look on my Instagram. I just posted a video about it today. And you'll see in the video, like it has like, there's like this much CA tape and then the project on top of it. You'll be like, okay, now I see what she's saying. But that worked fine. But my spoil board is a hot mess. So just be careful. Just be careful.
Yep. Speaking of spoil boards, on occasion, as you're cutting into it and creating it, turn it into a hot mess, you're going to start losing your flatness of the board. Right, it's going to absorb moisture in different areas more, and other areas less, and MDF, if you're in a high moisture area, will expand, right, and then contract. So we are at the end of our time. Let's see. Just check any more comments, Kate. In the meantime, in the description of this, we're going to handle a couple more comments, but in the description of Facebook up above, right, and YouTube down below, there are links. Number one, if you want one-on-one with Kate, there's a link there where you can schedule that with her.
Yep.
If you're a female creator, join her Facebook group, Women Who CNC. Right?
Please.
Women only. Women only. And then the CNC Entrepreneurs Facebook group. Right? That's the one I've started. And we have about 32,000 members in that right now.
That's a fantastic group.
The beast bit, the most badass bit is going to be, I'm expecting June 30 release.
You need to pull that sucker out and show them what they're working with.
Oh, let's see, pull up a picture of it.
You need to show him that roughing bit. No, we don't want to see a picture of it. Pull it up and show it in the camera.
In the camera.
Just like hold that thing up there, and
if you can tell, my camera can focus on. My camera won't. This camera is not an autofocus camera.
Oh, darn it!
But I can bring a picture up.
All right,
I'll open up a picture, and
it is a beast. No, I don't have mine over here. Gosh darn it!
There we go.
I think I put them all away.
Okay, share. Windows. There we go. Can you see it?
Yep.
So that's the beast. So it's how do you like my little logo there? My little beast there. So
yeah.
Hyperspeed roughing end mill. So this is it's a 1-inch flute length, and I've designed it with a thick core in it, so it's got a lot of strength to it, so it can really plow through material. Your machine probably cannot overwhelm this bit, depending on your RPMs. I have not been able to overwhelm it.
What RPMs have you been running it at? Because I think was it 10 or 12,000?
Oh, when I was roughing out at 1,000 inches per minute, 1 inch deep, I was running at 24,000.
Oh, that's right. Not 10 or 12. I don't know why I said that. I was thinking of
I
was thinking of something else. Yeah, because you said like
RPMs.
Because I think you said a 4 on the router dial, and I think because 17 is about 3.5, so about a 4 is about 19,000. Yeah. Okay.
Makita's got a table, but the information will be in the app too. Right.
Yeah.
And
I am really curious. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. About if anyone has, I think Tim, you have a bit. Does Jack have a beast?
Jack has one. Yep.
Okay, I thought Jack did. I know Tim Nudd. Does he have a beast?
Tim Nudd has one. Yep.
Okay, I think so. I can't remember if there was someone else that had one, but I am really curious on the Makita router. Who's gotten to what inches per minute? I thought I saw somebody last week say they got to like 250 on their.
That I didn't see.
You didn't see that? I thought I could have sworn I saw somebody say they went to 250 inches per minute, and the Makita router was like, and I think they were at 3/4 of an inch deep. So
okay,
I've got it all programmed, baby. I've got it all set up for 3/4 of an inch and an inch deep. We're gonna try it out on this wood. Did somebody comment on the wood, by the way?
I didn't see one.
I know if you commented on what species of wood you thought that was, drop it in the comments below, because I can't remember.
Hold it back up
if you guys
again.
did that or not.
Hold it back up again.
Okay, so there was this one. This is like, we'll just call this number 1. Like, see, you can see the red in it. So I think this looks like cherry, but it's kind of different. All right, so there's that. And then this has got all kinds of stuff on it. You see that okay? I'm not sure what this one is. I thought maybe a little bit of cherry because it looks so red.
Turn it there. Turn it that way so you can see the grain of it too. So somebody comment what you think that wood is.
Yeah. No, this was one of the pieces I was going to use to run the beast through. Let's see what that does.
All right. Brooks said a comment about your comment about clamping down a project. So hard to flatten. Won't bounce back up after carve. So yeah, a project this is why you want to surface projects before you get started too. When you do pockets, you're taking stress out of wood. So wood does tend to want to change its shape a little bit. If you're making a big sign, where it's not that curve isn't that big of a deal, don't necessarily worry about it. But you can always come back in and resurface the other side. CA glue, if you have a hard warp on material and then it's hard to get that out, the CA glue method is not necessarily what you want to do. What you want to do is resurface that material.
Yeah.
Right, so you get it flat.
Right, or use your planer, one of the two.
Okay. Someone said it's nice wood. Walnut crotch? I did walnut crotch. Okay. Whatever.
Oh, I see that. Brooks Martin, number 2. Okay. Well, thank you for that. There it is. I thought I saw Tim say that.
He got it at 250 inches per minute, 0.75 deep, and an oak.
He has a CNC
40 with a 1.5 kilowatt spindle. Not sure what the Makita will handle though. Yeah, I mean, there's a limit to what the machine will handle with Makitas, with that bit. 100 inches per minute. You can reduce your step over and go at 150.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. I'll have to look into them and see what we can do. Okay. Oh, Facebook user says less delay on YouTube ? I think you're talking about when we're doing the Vectric training. I don't know if there is a little bit less delay on YouTube. I can't imagine that it would be different Facebook versus YouTube. I think it's just StreamYard. Plus, it gets a little like flashy and glitchy sometimes. We're not sure why, but that's just kind of what we're dealing with. So.
All right. There you go.
Say the second one looked like walnut because of the bark. That's what I was thinking. The first one, hard to tell. If you have a close-up pictures and a shot of the grain, it will help. Well, here is the grain. I don't know. I mean,
that's the whole tree there, isn't it? No, it's not the whole tree because that's not even near the heart of it, but it is heartwood.
Yeah. In grain? I don't know. But I thought maybe I don't know.
Yeah. Okay, well, boys and girls.
Thank you.
Brothers and sisters, like the video if you're on YouTube. Comments are much appreciated. They help the videos rank.
Yes.
And thank you for hanging around with us and helping each other. This is what this is about, right?
Yeah.
So many people were helping Bill, and so many people were talking to each other about those composite nails.
Yeah, so, and the nodes cool. And everything.
Yeah,
it's great.
Yeah, so very, very cool. All right, hope you got something out of this one, and we look forward to seeing you again next week. Same CNC time, same CNC channel, and
we'll see you later.
Hasta la vista. All right.